Cyber conflict overseas is not staying overseas. Right now, tensions tied to the Israel-Iran conflict are also raising digital risk for businesses far beyond the region. That matters to small and mid-sized businesses because attackers don't just go after governments. They go after the vendors, inboxes, logins, and cloud systems companies rely on every day. If your team assumes you're too small to be noticed, that's the mistake to fix first. In moments like this, broad disruption and opportunistic attacks tend to hit the easiest targets. We're seeing cyber activity hit financial services first because payment systems, banks, and transaction platforms are high-value targets during geopolitical tension. At the same time, disinformation campaigns push false claims, fake alerts, and manipulated content to create confusion and pressure people into bad decisions. Internet disruptions are part of the picture too. Even short outages or degraded connectivity can interrupt operations, remote access, customer service, and vendor coordination. And when security agencies warn about risks to critical infrastructure, every business should listen. If essential services are strained, smaller companies often feel the impact fast. For US businesses, the biggest danger isn't always a sophisticated nation-state attack hitting you directly. It's often the spillover, including criminal groups and copycats using the same chaos as cover. Phishing is still one of the fastest ways in. One convincing email, fake login page, or urgent payment request can hand over access in minutes. Credential theft follows close behind. Stolen passwords, reused logins, and weak multi-factor setups let attackers move from one account into email, VPNs, and cloud tools. Then, there are DDoS attacks and imitation campaigns. Even if they're not aimed at your company by name, they can knock services offline or inspire look-alike attacks against easier targets. Most small businesses are connected to a much larger digital ecosystem than they realize. Your risk now includes the vendors, platforms, and service partners plugged into your operations. If a cloud provider, payroll platform, or communications tool is disrupted, your team can lose access even when your own systems haven't been breached. Managed service providers are another key link. If attackers compromise one trusted provider, they may gain a path into multiple customer environments at once. That's why third-party risk is no longer a big company problem. For SMBs, supply chain exposure can be the fastest route from global conflict to local business interruption. Another shift is how quickly false information now travels. Attackers can flood inboxes, chat tools, and social feeds with fake updates that look just real enough to trigger a response. That might be a message that appears to come from a bank, a shipping partner, your CEO, or even a trusted vendor during a fast-moving news cycle. AI raises the stakes because it helps attackers write cleaner emails, mimic tone, translate convincingly, and generate more personalized lures at scale. So the old red flags are less obvious now. Bad grammar and clumsy wording are being replaced by polished impersonation and better timing. For your team, that means every request involving money, credentials, sensitive files, or account changes deserves a quick verification step before anyone clicks or replies. So, what should businesses do right now? Start with visibility, make sure endpoint, network, and cloud monitoring are turned on, reviewed regularly, and tied to real alert response. If you can't see suspicious sign-ins, unusual device behavior, or unexpected data movement, you can't contain a problem early. Next, train your people with realistic phishing simulations. Short, frequent practice works better than one annual training session everyone forgets. Review your vendors too. Ask which security controls they use, how they handle incidents, whether they require multi-factor authentication, and how they'll notify you if something goes wrong. Then, ground your program in proven standards. CIS controls are a strong starting point for many SMBs, and NIST gives you a broader framework for managing risk over time. You do not need a massive enterprise budget to improve fast. You need prioritized actions, clear ownership, and the discipline to follow through. If your business depends on critical systems, resilience needs attention too. Review network segmentation so one compromised device doesn't become a company-wide incident. Tighten patching for internet-facing systems, remote access tools, firewalls, and any platform that would cause major downtime if it failed. Make sure alerts are shared quickly with the people who need them, including internal responders, outside IT partners, and key vendors when appropriate. The goal is simple. Limit blast radius, shorten response time, and keep the business running even when the threat environment gets noisier. The The big picture is this. Cyber threats are now part of global conflict, and that makes vigilance a business necessity, not an IT side project. Small and mid-sized businesses may not be the headline target, but they are often the practical target because they're connected, busy, and easier to exploit. The companies that respond best are the ones that prepare before the disruption arrives. Now is the time to tighten controls, verify requests, and raise awareness across the team. If you want help turning concern into a clear cybersecurity plan, Computabilities is here to support you with proactive protection, practical guidance, and ongoing vigilance. Stay alert, protect what keeps your business running, and reach out to Computabilities to strengthen your defenses before the next threat becomes your problem.